Welcome back to Tri-Cities, and our day is about to begin. Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top fame, an honorary crew member of the Miller team. Bernie Little checking out the cockpit on the Miss Madison, maybe for Ron Snyder, who was thrown out of this boat 2 weeks ago. There's Ron. Let's get a word, if we can, with Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top.
Well, Billy, I know you have gotten to know the crew for the Miller American. Have you been around racing at all?
Well, we try and keep abreast of things that go fast, like our music.
I know the crew has been backstage a couple of times for your concerts, haven't they?
Yes, we have invited them out because what they do is pretty much what we do.
Fast lane.
Yes, indeed.
Well, have a good day and enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
And speaking of the fast lane, Chip Hanauer ready to go out in the Miller American in Heat 1A. You've seen this on music video, the patented send-off by Billy Gibbons. Looking at the drivers, Mike Hansen in his debut with the Unlimiteds driving the U100. Jack Schaefer, who drove very well 2 weeks ago in Evansville, now in the Tempest. Todd Yarling out of Hanover, Indiana, driving the Cellular One. Ron Snyder, only 2 weeks' time to recover, and he is back in the saddle. Scott Pierce drove the Budweiser Griffin earlier. Now we welcome Mr. Pringles, new sponsor. And Chip Hanauer, the Miller American, won here last year. All 6 boats are lined up and coming down the main straightaway. This is a shot from our camera on the Blue Bridge, the Big Blue Bridge they call it here in Tri-Cities. It was a legal start. All boats going around now the first turn, and the Miller American in first place with Chip Hanauer. He is virtually running away from the pack. Look at the lead he has already. In first place, the Miller American, the turbine-powered boat. Chip Hanauer with 20 career victories, looking for number 21 here in his home state of Washington. Second place, Mr. Pringles and Scotty Pierce aboard, the boat he drove last year when it was named Executone. This being Ron Snyder in third place, the battle for fourth and fifth. On the inside was Todd Yarling taking over fourth. Pretty rocky in the west turn. Here as Chip Hanauer negotiates that turn and comes down the main straightaway. His speed has got to be way up there. Second place, the Merlin engine-powered Mr. Pringles in its debut as a sponsor here in Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. Let's get a speed on Chip Hanauer. 136.013 miles per hour. My goodness, he is running away from everybody. Mr. Pringles at 112. Here's the third place boat, Ron Snyder, after only 2 weeks of getting over the bad rowing around that he took back in Evansville in that turn. Todd Yarling in the Cellular One has gone dead in the water and has pulled onto the infield. Some of the crew obviously concerned about their boat, but Todd is finished for this heat. There is the U100 and the Tempest. Jack Schaefer on the right side of the screen, that being a tunnel boat. We'll look at it more as the day goes on, and it looks like the U100 is done for this heat. Mike Hansen in his debut, trying to keep that engine going. Fred Leland, the owner of the boat, and again back to the Miller American in first place. Chip Hanauer hoping to get a victory. This is the Mr. Pringles and fire coming out of the Merlin engine. My goodness, the attrition rate in Heat 1A very high in our first race of the day. Stacked fire coming out of the Merlin engine. The Pringles crew wondering what's happened down in that west turn. So this is now the second place boat, the Wholesome Miss Madison. And the Tempest moving into third place, Jack Schaefer. Again, so far a cakewalk for the Miller American in Heat 1A. Speed on lap 2, 126.8. Lap 3, 125.5. And business as usual for the Miller American team. Chip Hanauer, again, as I said, with 20 career victories. Would love to get one here. He's won 2 races so far in 1986. 2 for Jim Kropfeld in the Budweiser. Again, the tunnel boat built by Chuck Hickling in Seattle. One of the old standbys in this business. Been around in Unlimited Hydroplane Racing for many, many years. A super competitive man. And he believes in this tunnel boat design. And they're getting very good speed down the straightaways, up to 150, 160 miles per hour. And a good battle going on as Jack Schaefer holds on to go down the back chute. Look at the difference between the rest of the pack and the Miller American. As I said, the attrition rate's been high, but so far, Chip Hanauer has had an easy time here in lap number 1. And of course, it's the beginning of a long day. One more preliminary heat, and then it'll go on to the final. A good 400 points waiting for Chip Hanauer as he goes down the back chute. He has slowed way down about 122.9 miles per hour in his last lap, so he'll simply coast. The U100, the generic boat. Don't you love that name? We've got generic beer, generic cigarettes, and now we've got a generic unlimited hydroplane. Why not? The Miller American, though, and Chip Hanauer out of Seattle. He'll be racing in his hometown in, well, it'll be next week, as a matter of fact, as he goes past Scotty Pierce, another Seattle native, coming down the main straightaway. The Miller American, the turbine-powered boat owned by Fran Muncy, and performing flawlessly so far today here in Tri-Cities. A little air under the boat, however, as it comes down that main straightaway. In fact, this course has been a little choppier than usual. This being Ron Snyder, taking it easy when he can. He says that it's a little tough in the turns with that right shoulder that was banged up severely in the accident in Evansville 2 weeks ago when he was thrown out of the boat. But he feels much better now and will hope to race all day if at all possible. He said Sunday night in Evansville that he'd make it somehow out here, and he had only 2 weeks to recover. Beautiful shot from the bridge as you see the attitude of these boats as the Miss Madison, the Hulset Miss Madison, comes down the main straightaway in front of better than 45,000 people here in the southeastern part of Washington State. The Miller American, always oblivious to the chop out here on any course for that matter, the Ohio River, the Detroit River, Miami, Lake Washington, or the Columbia River here, as you see. It's a little choppy, but it doesn't matter with that boat. It rides so beautifully. The green flag awaits Jack Schaefer in the Tempest, but the checkered flag is there for the Miller American, and 400 points to Chip Hanauer. Second place, Ron Snyder and the Hulset Miss Madison. It's quite obvious the attrition rate very high in the first heat of the day. 6 boats start, only 3 finish. Miller American, Hulset Miss Madison, and the Tempest. Let's go down to the pits. We've just received word that Todd Yarling of the Cellular One has a slightly burned right ankle from some oil that got up into the cockpit. Meantime, Jim Henrik with the winner.
That first lap, you left everybody far behind. Did you plan that?
Well, you always want to, get out in front. We didn't want to push the boat real hard, nor did we do that. So I think we're in pretty good shape.
Okay. Don?
Well, first time in the heat of the battle. How's the shoulder?
Oh, they did a good job when they taped me up.
You going to be able to continue?
I think so. Everything is feeling pretty good so far, and putting ice on it every now and then. I think I'll make it till tomorrow, and tomorrow I got plenty of time to rest up.
We'll put a little salve on it, put a little wrap on it before you get your boot back in. Get it dry, and we'll put some powder in there so you can get it, okay?
Can you walk on it, okay, Tom?
Yeah. Okay, good.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I've got a little hot there.
Okay.
Dr. Keith Peterson checking out the right foot of Todd Yarling. Looks like he'll be all right. Back in a minute.